welcome to my store.
That are in here are eating the rest of it.
Okay, then you have those Bengal cardinals there to breed them.
Yeah.
For them to have babies.
See, this is a really good environment because when you're breeding fish, you want the water to be as perfect as you possibly can. Really low in phosphates, nitrates, high in all the trace elements and stuff. So we add the trace elements, but the plants, the caulerpa, this is macroalgae, and the ketomorph, which is macroalgae, they're taking all the nitrates and phosphates out of the water. So this is like a natural filter like the ocean. Except we got about 85 trees in here, so it's super clean.
Do they have any advantage for the humans? Well, like, let's say when you have it in a house and in an office, do they have any advantage for
the air, but they're not major ones. Like if you want a major air purifier, you need like a spider plant. This would purify the air more. Like you want a really leafy plant because that way it'll take a lot of pollutants out of the air and bind them up as something they grow with.
Yeah, because I can see that you have other kind of, which other kind of plants do you have in there?
Well, this is a Dracaena spike, calamondin orange. This is a plant that I got 20 years ago off of a little tiny cutting. I don't know what it is. That's a tree. I don't know what kind it is either. I just thought it was cool.
What about those ones? That one, is it an almond tree? This one looks like an almond tree.
No, that is a it's a house plant.
That's beauty. How big do they get? Is this one like the one they have in Benfica that goes up to the ceiling?
Yeah. This is one that remember I found it on the side of the street this spring that it was mostly dead, and I just watered it and gave it fertilizer, and now it's a beautiful house plant.
Then you not only rescue fish, you also rescue plants.
Yeah.
What about your cactus there?
Well, my cactus was once upon a time just a little wee tiny piece about this big. And it is now almost, well, it's 6 feet tall when you count those.
Is it easy to make another plant from that cactus? How do you make a plant from that cactus?
You just cut off a piece or break off a piece, dip it in water, and that'll make it stop bleeding because it's a latex-based cactus. So there's latex cactus and there's water-based cactus.
So when you break off a piece, it'll leak?
It'll put out a gummy rubber-like sap. So if you dip it in water, that'll make the gummy rubber-like sap go hard and it'll stop bleeding.
And for how long do you have to dip them in water? Oh, just a momentary.
As soon as it hits water.
And then you put it in the air?
No.
And what?
Then you set it away on a dry shelf to dry out. You want that hole to become hard. Callus?
Oh, it have to be dry completely.
Well, you want the wound to be callus. And then you set it on damp soil or in damp gravel. But it can't be too damp because if it's too damp it'll rot.
Okay, yeah, that's what my next question was, that with the rods, even them just like that, you have to have them in something dry for them to dry completely.
Well, the easiest way to grow them is to take a bowl full of gravel, put the cactus on top with a little bit of dirt, and put water in the bottom of the gravel.
So you have another one here. This is also very nice. What is the name again?
That's a Ming Aurelia.
Oh, Ming Aurelia.
That's the same plant.
Oh, the same.
So let's show them the water plants in the freshwater tank now.
Okay.
Do you have a filter in there?
You do have some mangroves here too.
Yes.
And what else do you have here?
I have anubias. See, this is anubias plant. Above water, it makes a long, thin leaf. Underwater.
Yeah, how did you do this setting? I know you show it in one of your YouTube videos, but what is it in here?
This is what the plant looks like underwater. This is what it looks like above water.
That's the same plant.
Same plant. Okay. It's just like this plant here.
Do they need to be dug into the ground?
Doesn't matter. This plant here is the underwater version. These leaves are the above water version.
Oh, it changed a lot. Well, that one looks like the one you have there on the top. I thought it was the same one. No,
No, that's a tree.
Oh.
Okay. So like, this is a cutting, and you can see how the leaves underwater look, and the leaves above water look.
And what is the name of this plant again?
This is anubias.
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 And see how it produces the roots? So if I want a new plant, I just cut that there, or I can cut it there, and it'll just keep producing leaves. This plant is also called the plastic plant. It is very durable. If you have a fish tank with lots of light, you'll get lots and lots of growth. If you have a fish tank with very little light, it'll just stay the same.
Or this one is for a plant lover that people who just have plants like how do you call that one? Atrium?
A terrarium.
Atrium.
Okay, how do you say that?
Atrium, atrium.
A terrarium.
A terrarium.
Terrarium.
Oh, terrarium. Okay, this one will be a nice plant for a terrarium.
Yeah.
Do fish eat it? Like
No.
vegetarian fish?
No.
So that's why it's also called plastic?
It kind of feels like plastic too.
And what are these little balls here?
That's remember water hyacinth?
Water hyacinth.
These are
Do they
fun
flower?
plants. Yeah, they flower with that little purple spike.
Oh, those
Remember
are
them when they were outside your back?
Oh, okay.
Now, with all these plants in
Yellow
here,
and
do you
purple?
have a filter?
Do we have a filter on this? No. There's a small pump over here moving the water.
Do they have to have a pump and a filter and all the...
Well,
all of that?
basically in here, there are shrimp breeding. There's ghost shrimp and cherry